There's always been a certain fascination in hip-hop with artists who refuse to back down, no matter who tries to test them. From early rap feuds to modern-day conflicts, people love watching two formidable figures square off without an ounce of fear. Today, it's all eyes on 50 Cent and J. Prince, a pair of powerhouses each claiming dominance in their own right. For years, they drifted in separate corners of the music world, 50 reigning supreme in New York, and J. Prince calling the shots in Houston. But the moment 50 decided to plant his flag in H-Town, everything changed. Suddenly, these two alpha personalities found themselves on an inevitable collision course that has threatened to shake the city's hip-hop scene to its core.
A sucker's a nigga pick who he be fight with.
Right.
Like if you sitting and you go, oh, I'm not going because this. Yeah, I think I can take him.
Why can't 50 and J. Prince see eye to eye? Some point to the clash of egos. Others say J. Prince's alleged extortion program is the real culprit, with 50 refusing to pay for protection or be strong-armed in any way. Then there's the story of how 50 quickly won over the hearts of local fans and even city leaders, earning praise and accolades that J. Prince arguably never received. By all accounts, it seems that 50's unstoppable force may have met J. Prince's immovable object. The question is, can Houston handle the heat when these two titans collide? Keep watching, because there's far more to this than celebrity drama. The accusations of payoffs, rumors of shady dealings, and the raw power of J. Prince's grip on the streets have turned this rivalry into a cautionary tale. We'll reveal how 50 built a fortress in a city once claimed by J. Prince alone, and why some believe this feud could escalate in ways nobody saw coming.
Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, is they seem to get hung up on that word checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected.
It's impossible to discuss 50 Cent without mentioning his roots in Queens, New York. Raised amid the hustle and grit of the city, 50 developed a reputation for fearlessness and business savvy early in his career. He stormed onto the rap scene with a mix of bravado and street credibility, releasing hits that topped charts and fueling legendary feuds that kept audiences glued to every move he made. To his fans, 50 embodies that classic rags to riches triumph, and despite frequent clashes with fellow artists, he hasn't lost any momentum in wielding influence. On the other side of the coin is J. Prince. Long before social media gave celebrities a platform to speak directly to fans, J. Prince was quietly pulling strings behind the curtain in Houston's rap scene. He founded Rap-A-Lot Records in the late 1980s, carving out a name for himself as a pioneering executive who elevated Southern hip-hop. His reputation stretched beyond music circles, though. Whispers of him wielding serious clout on the streets floated around for years, with many artists saying, "You don't set foot in Houston without J. Prince's blessing, or you risk consequences."
The little homie young boy, place got broke into, people went in his place, disrespected different things, and I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right, because they understand that, young boy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce, I got your keys to your McLaren, all that shit that they took, and the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
You got your Rolls Royce umbrellas, you got your keys, you got a bunch of other shit, so get in contact with us, bro, get your shit back.
These two men, both accustomed to calling the shots, weren't exactly on a collision course at first. They lived in different worlds and rarely had overlapping circles. 50 was busy diversifying his portfolio, film, TV, clothing lines, and a liquor brand, while J. Prince was more focused on local power structures and upholding a certain code of Houston. They had no pressing reason to butt heads until 50 decided to bring his empire to J. Prince's doorstep, forever altering the landscape of H-Town's hip-hop scene. Even if you've never visited Houston, you might have heard about the so-called check-in requirement some artists mention when they talk about the city's rap scene.
Check in for what? I mean, I don't want to impose or force myself
More often than not, J. Prince's name surfaces in these conversations. Allegedly, this check-in is a rule that says any visiting rapper, performer, or celebrity must meet with J. Prince or his associates upon arrival, ostensibly to pay respects. Critics, however, believe it's just a thin veil for extortion. In theory, the idea is that J. Prince provides protection, ensuring no one robs you, disrupts your shows, or causes problems. And if something does go down, like a chain snatching, J. Prince can retrieve it. At face value, it sounds like a helpful service. But in practice, stories abound of artists who either refused to participate or tried to handle things their own way, only to find themselves confronted by J. Prince's crew. If these rumors are true, then calling it a service might be misleading. Some say it's more like paying for peace in a city J. Prince still regards as his territory. Cameron and Mace have publicly mocked the idea, implying that big homies shouldn't run around calling themselves gatekeepers, especially not when approaching retirement age.
Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. This is a problem, J. Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you're trying to be a street nigga, you failed. You failed. You failed.
NBA YoungBoy had a run-in that made headlines too. He was robbed while in Houston, and J. Prince broadcast a video announcing he could recover the stolen goods if YB reached out. Rather than thank him, YB criticized J. Prince for taking the issue to social media and
you could call. Man, nigga, it's plenty ways you could get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway.
To people like 50, who has his own security and refuses to bow to anyone, the check-in system feels more like a shakedown. For J. Prince, it's a matter of respect and tradition, built on a local code he believes newcomers ought to follow. This clash of philosophies, combined with large sums of money and big personalities, inevitably started a fire that threatened to rage out of control. If there was any doubt about 50's stance toward J. Prince, it vanished when he publicly made light of the idea that he should check in. Various reports claim J. Prince wasn't amused. Word on the street suggests that J. Prince's people tried to pressure 50 into acknowledging their rules, or at least peeling off some funds. But for 50, who prided himself on surviving the toughest neighborhoods in New York, there was no way he'd be intimidated into shelling out money simply to move around. Predictably, the tension escalated. Rumors swirled that J. Prince invoked a so-called no-fly zone, meaning 50 would face hostility anytime he tried to operate freely in Houston. Despite this, 50 remained active in local charity drives, business expansions, and huge entertainment events, never giving any sign of slowing down. He walked into brand partnerships, rubbed elbows with Houston's elite, and secured more deals than ever. People who observed the rivalry began noting a stark contrast. 50 was lifting up the city with charitable donations, mentoring students, and bringing big events to town. Meanwhile, J. Prince's name was increasingly tied to controversies about strong-arm tactics, loaded dice games that left some participants worse than broke, and demands for respect that occasionally devolved into standoffs. The more 50 thrived, the more outsiders speculated that J. Prince's reign was losing its luster. That was especially true after a couple of high-profile tragedies cast a dark shadow over the so-called friendly environment J. Prince claimed to protect. Reports surfaced of artists losing their lives in the aftermath of these infamous Houston gatherings, leading many to wonder whether J. Prince's brand of security was failing or something more sinister was at play. As the tension boiled behind the scenes, 50 Cent's stock in Houston soared. He didn't just rest on the laurels of being a household name, he made real investments in the community.
2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Hello, maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected.
Through his G-Unity Foundation, he rolled out programs focusing on entrepreneurship for high school students. In 2022, he launched the G-Unity Business Lab, which taught hands-on skills like budgeting, marketing, and product design. Local teens eagerly signed up, excited to learn from one of hip-hop's biggest moguls. Soon, word spread that these programs were creating genuine success stories, students who went on to start small businesses with the knowledge they gained. Building on his philanthropic wave, 50 formed alliances with major Houston sports franchises, the Rockets, Astros, and Texans, to promote his range of alcoholic beverages. This brand synergy brought his products onto the shelves of local arenas and into official team events, feeding a sense that 50's presence was everywhere. Then came the charity drives, turkey giveaways during Thanksgiving, toy donations for underprivileged families, and lavish fundraisers that netted hundreds of thousands of dollars for community causes. In a very short time, 50 had positioned himself not just as an entertainer, but as a benefactor. Houston residents began to see him as someone who gave back rather than took, challenging the old narrative that outsiders come to the city purely to exploit. And while 50 racked up these goodwill points, Jay Prince faced increasingly intense scrutiny over his alleged role in multiple controversies. Some folks started whispering that Jay Prince's empire thrived on fear,
Do you know,
while 50's
Houston is one of the
empire
country's
thrived on
hotbeds of
generosity.
hip-hop.
The more unflattering stories poured in about Jay Prince's check-in or rumored dice game setups, the more local pride shifted toward 50's side of the fence. To make matters worse for Jay Prince, the mayor's public support of 50 made it crystal clear that official Houston wanted no part in gangster-style intimidation. Standing next to the mayor, holding the key to the city in his hand, 50 smiled for photos that practically shouted, "I am Houston's new favorite son." From Jay Prince's perspective, it had to sting seeing someone else receive the lion's share of respect and admiration, especially someone who didn't follow the unwritten rules Jay Prince had established years ago. Once it became obvious that Jay Prince might not back off, 50 did what he does best. He turned the pressure up. He's legendary for making sure every feud becomes a spectacle, often winning battles simply by being louder, smarter, and more relentless. According to insiders, 50 started collecting stories from anyone who had felt bullied or extorted by Jay Prince's network. Speculation grew that 50 was compiling evidence to expose the entire check-in practice as nothing more than a gangster tax. On social media, 50 dropped cryptic hints, posting old quotes about standing up to bullies and telling fans that some folks aren't half as tough as they pretend. He never mentioned Jay Prince by name, yet everyone knew who the message was aimed at. Blogs and hip-hop sites leapt to interpret each new post, wondering if 50 was ready to cross a line that nobody before him had dared to cross. Meanwhile, Jay Prince found himself in a public relations quagmire. Every time he tried to defend himself in interviews, claiming that checking in was about respect and unity, he sounded evasive or contradictory. That only fueled suspicion, with more detractors emerging to say they'd been threatened for not following his rules. Some even claimed that local clubs and promoters had been told never to book them if they didn't stay on Jay Prince's good side. Knowing 50's flair for spectacle, many predicted that a bombshell reveal was on the horizon. If 50 truly had receipts showing organized extortion, it could severely damage Jay Prince's standing. And if Jay Prince felt cornered, there was a risk of real street-level retaliation. The stage was set for a battle that could either blow wide open or simmer until one side found a strategic advantage. With two major powerhouses locked in a struggle for the heart of Houston, the city's rap community seems divided. Some still swear by Jay Prince, describing him as a respected figure who deserves the homage he demands. Others view 50 as a fresh wave of leadership, less about intimidation, more about uplifting the environment around him. Given how both men operate, it's unlikely either one will stand down easily. For 50, the big question is whether he truly needs to watch his back in H-Town. His connections, business network, and personal security might protect him from any immediate threats, but there's always the chance that someone close to Jay Prince decides to take matters into their own hands. Jay Prince still commands loyalty among people who believe in old-school rules of territory and respect. If they see 50's philanthropic stunts as attempts to undermine Jay Prince's credibility, tensions could escalate. Yet there's an alternate possibility. Perhaps the city will lean further into 50's positivity, pushing Jay Prince out of the public spotlight entirely. There's no shortage of local politicians, entrepreneurs, and residents who've embraced 50 wholeheartedly. Some say that once you're awarded the key to a city, it's tough for an older street-based figure to push you out, especially when you're boosting the local economy and youth programs in a very visible, tangible way. Either scenario underscores how unpredictable this situation is. One day, rumors fly that 50 might release documents or testimonies that could land Jay Prince in hot water. The next, reports claim Jay Prince is quietly rallying allies, preparing to come back harder. The only certainty is that Houston's hip-hop scene is on the brink of a major shift. one that could redefine the power structure for years to come. The saga of 50 Cent versus Jay Prince isn't just a celebrity feud, it's a sweeping story about control, reputation, and the heart of a city. In one corner stands 50, the relentless entrepreneur racking up community projects and local endorsements. In the other is Jay Prince, rooted in a code he insists has protected Houston for decades. Both men bring undeniable influence, and it's not surprising that their conflict has gained so much attention. As the dust continues to swirl, fans and observers wonder who will come out on top. Will Houston become 50's new kingdom, or will Jay Prince reassert his dominance and remind everyone that he built his name for a reason? In the end, the answer could hinge on more than just words or even fists. It could come down to whichever figure holds the key to the city's future, both literally and figuratively. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Should 50 Cent be worried, or does he already have the upper hand? Whether you're a die-hard hip-hop fan or just love a good underdog story, this showdown offers plenty to dissect. Just be prepared, because if we know anything about 50's persistence or Jay Prince's resolve, it's that neither side is likely to walk away quietly. The fate of Houston's rap throne may hang in the balance, waiting for the next dramatic turn no one sees coming.